Hi, in this video I am going to show how I shape the neck opening of a raglan sweater with stranded color work. I'm going to show you how I do the decreases here, and I am going to show you how I continue the stranded color work while I am working back and forward and doing the raglan decreases. At the end I am also going to show you how I pick up the stitches for the neck. So that's it, let's just get started. Here we have the sweater, and this is how it looks so far. And before I begin to shape the neck opening, I am going to explain how I have prepared. And as you can see here, I have done my raglan decreases, as many as my pattern stated, and I have a marker for each of the 4 raglan decreases, just so I remember them. And I have ended my round here, because up until now my round has started and ended in the back of what is going to be the left sleeve of the sweater. This is the front. And now I have cut this yarn and I have moved my stitches over onto my right needle until I ended up in the middle front. And here I have placed, in this case, the middle 13 stitches on a stitch holder. The number 13 is because that is what my pattern for the size I am knitting says. Your pattern may have a different number of stitches, so you should check that, but the middle stitches in the front has been placed on a stitch holder. This can be circular needle you don't use, or some leftover yarn, whatever keeps your stitches in place. As the raglan decreases are done in every second round, I have made sure I am about to start on a round with a decrease, because I want to do my decreases from the right side of my work. And as I am going now to work back and forward instead of in the round, I want to do my raglan decreases from the right side and not from the wrong side, because it is much easier, I find, to do them from the right side, especially with pattern like this. Here I have my working yarn and I am about to begin to shape the neck opening. I'm going to start, as I said, on a round with a raglan decrease. I could have done this last round with this yarn, started here and worked the wrong side till here, because then I wouldn't have to deal with attaching the yarn and the decrease at the same time. So that is a choice you have in this situation. Anyway, my pattern says I should do 2 decreases here, so I start by knitting 2 stitches, and then I lift the first stitch over the second. That's my first decrease, and then 1 stitch and lift the last one over. That's 2 decreases. And now I'm going to continue to work my pattern and I will show you the first raglan decrease. Here. And there are a lot of different types of raglan decreases, but usually they all involve working 2 stitches together on each side here. So the style I am doing, I will just knit these 2 stitches together. I have made sure both these stitches are in the same color to make an even sort of belt here in the same color. Looks less messy. So I just knit those 2 together. I move my marker over, and on this side I slip, slip and knit. So that's my decrease, and I'm going to continue to work my pattern and do all my raglan decreases all the way around here. And when I arrive here, I will get back to you and show you the next step. So now I am getting close to the end of this round, so I'll just follow my pattern, and there you go. Now I'm going to turn my work to the wrong side, and it is time to do the 2 decreases on this side of the front neck stitches here to shape the neck opening. So I do the same as I did on this side, only now I need to purl. So I slip the first stitch, then I purl, and I lift the first stitch, oops, the first stitch over the second one and off the needle. And now when I work from the wrong side and I have 2 colors, I need to make sure that my yarn floats stay on the wrong side. So I will always make sure whether I keep the working yarn on this side of the needle or keep it here, doesn't really matter. Make sure I have the yarn on this side of the needle. And now I can purl, and I slip this stitch over, and now I have done 2 decreases, decreased 2 stitches. So I now just have to continue throughout this round, making sure I keep my yarn floats on the wrong side. You can see here that they stay on the wrong side as long as I go around the yarn to pick up the stitches, and then I just use the color that I need to make my pattern correct. And for this particular pattern I have a very long yarn float here because I am not going to use my lighter color before I arrive here. So this will be too long to just have one float. So I have to attach this lighter color yarn somewhere along the way to pick up my stitch and go this way around. It looks a bit messy, but when I pull this color now, it should be attached here. So now I do it the regular way again. I'm going to do one more. So now I would like to attach this lighter yarn again. So I go around my yarn and I pick up and I go around from this side again, pick up, back and through my stitch, and it does look messy, but it should, no, let's see, there you go. Luckily I don't have to do this very often, but it's a nice trick to know. And here I am at the end of my round where I work from the purl side. So I'm just going to finish that. And here is where I attached my yarn, so I have to tighten that a little bit. Okay, so now I turn my work to the right side again. And I'm going to repeat the process I did before. So my pattern says I should decrease 2 stitches on this round as well. So I begin by slipping the first stitch, I knit and slip the first stitch over, that's 1 decrease, knit 1 more, and that's the second decrease. And now I just have to continue to follow my pattern, and as I am on the right side, it's time to do the ragland decreases again every time I arrive at the marker. So it's actually just repeating the first round I showed you. And when I finish here, I turn to the wrong side again. I decrease 2 stitches when I start to go back on the wrong side, and so I continue back and forward until I have finished all my decreases. Every time I'm on the right side, I do my ragland decreases as well, and when I have finished this step, I will get back to you and show you what I do next. Here you see the finished neck opening. I have done all my decreases on each side here, and after that I continued to work back and forward and did more ragland decreases. And now, as my ragland decreases has ended up here, at the edge of the neck opening. My sweater is almost finished, and the only thing missing is the rib around the neck opening. So I'm going to show you how I begin to make it, because here there are no stitches, so I need to pick up these to be able to knit this section here and here. I have found a pair circular needle. It is shorter to make it easier to make the neck, and it is also thinner because I'm going to do a rib. I prefer to make the rib with slightly thinner needles than I do the sweater itself, just so the rib won't become too loose. And what I do is that I pick up the yarn I'm going to use, and I simply begin to, let's see, I need both ends here, to knit my way across this section. And I try to find places to stick my needle through, like this. Pick up the yarn and knit, and I continue to do the same, and I try to check my result as I go to see that I don't make any very big gaps along the way. That will show. For instance, if I picked up here, I would have a large hole here, so I tried to avoid that. So you may need to try several options to see where you close the holes in the best way. Doesn't have to be perfect, because the rib will also close it a little bit. This edge, this will be hidden when the rib is finished and you fold it down and attach it on the wrong side. You hide this part here. And now I'm going to continue to pick up stitches until I arrive down here, where I will simply work these stitches over onto this needle, and I will continue to make, after the first round I will make a rib. And if you want to see more about how I make the neck itself, the rib, you should check out my other videos. I will link to one where I show how to do it at the end of this video. And that's it really. This is how I work when I shape the neck opening with 2 colors and ragland decreases. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.